Hi, the piece I just played is called Be Thou My Vision. It's a traditional Irish tune. That's usually the modern title, but the tune's been around a long time. And it's a great piece for St. Patrick's Day and any other time you want to play some Irish music. It's just one of the solos in my book, 101 Easy Ukulele Solos, or to give it the Hawaiian pronunciation, 101 Easy Ukulele Solos. And my first tip for playing this is to look for places where you can leave fingers down. For instance, in the first 4 measures, you can actually play through the entire 4 measures and never lift your index finger off the 3rd string and the 2nd fret. And I'll highlight this in red in the tablature, and it would look like this if you played it that way. Another place you can do that is coming into a B minor chord that happens in measure 11. And that's an unusual voicing of the B minor. It looks like a G minor chord played at the wrong fret. So you might practice that or preview that as well. But what you do when you play the piece is, if you leave fingers down, you actually have the entire chord set up before you strum all 3 notes. And if you play measure 10, that's where you set it up, and 11, you'll see that. I'll highlight that in red in the tab as well. The last place this is a good trick is in measure 14, and it also involves part of a B minor chord in the same position. And what happens is you come back to the 3rd finger on the 2nd string at the 7th fret. If you're careful to leave it down, it's much easier to find if you haven't picked it up. And that looks like this. Tip number 2 for Be Thou My Vision is to pick whichever way to play a D chord you like best. A lot of people on ukulele find a D chord awfully hard because you've got to cram 3 fingers into 1 fret. And there's various ways to do this, but a bar isn't one of them unless you're very double jointed, because you're supposed to get the 1st string to ring, and that would be under the bar, so that doesn't work. But one of the things about the D chord is you don't actually have to play all of it if you're careful about how you strum. Here's a D chord with 2 fingers. Here's a D chord with 3 fingers. They sound pretty much the same, and the reason for that is the note the 1st string is playing is duplicated by the note the 3rd string's playing if you play the 3-finger, 3-string D chord. So these 2 chords sound pretty much identical. The only harder thing about playing the 2-finger chord is you've got to remember not to strum the 4th string. If you do, you'll get this chord, which clashes. In most places, a D chord would be applicable. It's like this. A bit jazzy for most things, so you don't want to do that in this song and most other songs. But other than that, pick whichever D chord you like best. Play 2 fingers if you can remember not to play 4 strings, and play 3 fingers if you don't want to have to think about that in the right hand. So it's either this or this. And they sound pretty much the same, so you can do whichever one you want. Tip number 3 is just an option to make this piece sound a lot more contemporary. And what you're going to do is you're going to change 1 chord, the B minor in measure 11. You can make it a G major 7 by just strumming the 4th string along with it. And here's how it would go both ways. I'm going to play the original in the book. It goes like this. And here it is with the G major 7. My fourth tip for Be Thou My Vision and a lot of other ukulele pieces is for more experienced players not to be afraid to use a real basic technique, and that's the thumb strum, like this. A lot of times people I know will read through this piece, and if there's 3 strings, they'll use 3 fingers to pluck it. Really good classical guitar technique. But the thumb strum has a tendency to bring out the last note strummed as the melody note. It's usually just a little louder, and I've often used that effect in this book to make the melody sing out. And it's worth a try in a lot of other ukulele solos. So just because it's something that very beginning guitarist and ukulele players do, instead of, I wouldn't be afraid of doing it. Hi, this is Bill Hearn again. If you liked the ukulele pieces you heard on this video, there's about 100 more in my uke book published by Mel Bay, plus more pieces available separately on Sheet Music Plus, a collection I'm adding to all the time. Also, check out my other uke videos on YouTube and my novel Maria's Child, available through Amazon Books. Thanks for listening.